There we go. All right. So first thing I will say, I've only watched the first 2 episodes of Ironheart as of the time of this video and as of the time I'm reading this article. So if there's some magical thing in the 3rd episode that changes my perspective about anything here, I ain't see it yet. Shut up. Now, going on to this article is talking about how Ironheart promotes AI besties and how this person, Isaac Ruse, thinks it's dangerous. And I kind of agree. Very, very much. Because the scene they had in this show with the AI bestie thing that was going on, I understand it because of the way they lost that person in the show. And by the way, I'm going to talk about spoilers here. So if you haven't seen the show, I don't know why you're watching this video. But if you don't care about spoilers, continue watching. So if you haven't read the Ironheart comic book that came out like 10 years ago, she's the main character, Riri Williams, and she's the best friend, Natalie, that passed away. Basically, they live in the trenches, the Chirac part of Chicago, during when the whole Chirac thing was going on, but they may have changed it and updated the time. But they lived in Chirac, Chicago, and in a drive-by shooting, her friend, and in this they're adding her stepdad, were tragically, mistakenly killed. So, her best friend died in an extremely traumatic way. All of this happened in front of her when she was like 10 or something like that. And also, keep in mind, since a little baby, since a little girl, she was a genius. And 1 second. Hold up. Let me lock in and do this Duolingo real quick. ¿Tienes un boleto? Eso que es un boleto. No, maleta. I'm bugging the fuck out. Una maleta. God damn it. Un jugo de naranja. On Google. Oh my god. Un jugo. Now I don't know how to spell a shit. J-U. Backspace that. Continue. Aura. Do you have a ticket? No, god damn it, Laura, do you have the purse? Oh, por favor. Una maleta. Laura, do you have the purse? And please. Alright, there we go. Fuck, I forgot my thought because I wanted to make sure I didn't miss my Duolingo because it's 11:41 right now. So yeah, the way that she lost her friend was very traumatic for everybody because like I said, when that whole situation where her friend and her stepfather passed, it happened right in front of her. So it wasn't like she was around the corner or she heard next day. No, she sat right there and saw her friend pass away. So she's very deeply traumatized with it and has very deep PTSD and doesn't like opening up or talking about the subject at all whatsoever. So when she was building an AI for her suit, she used her brain waves and she fell asleep and woke up to it making an AI of her friend, which hacked everything in the house and talked to her mom, and her mom is okay with it, and she just wants to see the precious little girl that she watched be born and grew up. But for her, it's way more traumatic because again, at like the age of 9, she watched her best friend pass away right in front of her. That's crazy levels of traumatic. So she has a hard time accepting that shit and seeing her as a artificial intelligence. And the stuff that this episode promotes and the way that the mom just casually accepts it, kind of disturbing for me. Because there's a lot of mental drawbacks and stuff like with this whole topic that come with it. Because like, for example, if you get reattached to this AI of a person you traumatically seen or traumatically watched pass away at a young age, what happens if the AI gets shut off? Now you sitting there feeling like you watched the person pass a second time. You get what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of stuff that comes with promoting this type of stuff and making it seem okay, which is like, ooh. Sometimes you need to close it off and let it the fuck go. In the Disney Plus series, the young Tony Stark Esquire resurrects her best friend accidentally. I want to add that, accidentally, because this article with this sentence is making it look like she did it on purpose. No, she just wanted to create a brain scan generic AI, and the AI creating software made it her look and seem exactly like her best friend. The implications go full galaxy brain real quick. Natalie can speak. Remember, that's another thing. So it's not just an AI that looks like Natalie, her best friend. It's an AI that looks like Natalie, her best friend, that also remembers some of the memories her friend had. How? I'm going to just call it suspense or disbelief, but it does. The implications: Natalie can speak, remember, blah, 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 and engage with people just like a real human, but she's not alive in a traditional sense. While the idea of an AI companion has long been a sci-fi staple, its now real-world counterpart... Wait, why am I not hearing a beat? Oh, I can hear it. It's just low. Its real-world counterpart now comes with intense controversy. The newest forms of generative AI chatbots, like Chatbot GPT, Perplexity, so on and so forth, are poised to upend industries, eliminate jobs, and spread misinformation. Hollywood has responded awkwardly. Films like 2023's The Creator and Jennifer Lopez run-and-gun Netflix action movie Atlas reflect a growing trend to pro-AI narratives from studios with major investments in the technology, invested interest in its acceptance. This is why the birth rate is down. And this is why the birth rate is going to continue to go down. With major investments in the technology and a vested interest in its acceptance. Iornheart is another stab at improving the text image. I'll say that's fair because the mom didn't freak out at the artificial intelligence all but 3 seconds. There are people that would handle it like that, so I'm, again, suspense of disbelief, 1, and 2, again, I'm not going to completely write that part off, but what I will say is like, bro, I don't like how happy she was to see that fucking artificial intelligence and how casual they made it seem. They made it seem like she was catching up with a friend over FaceTime, and it's like, nah, bruh. You playing with technology that's emulating somebody you once watched be born. If not literally, essentially. Chat GPT fueled human replica. It's that people are already doing it for their deceased loved ones. Yeah, that's a real thing. Iornheart, which only imagines Disney design for a mass audience and appeal, doesn't grapple with that present. Yes, it does. It's literally what the character is based off of. A few years before the events of the show, Riri witnessed a drive-by shooter kill her father and best friend. Riri processing those deaths, blah, blah, blah. Natalie's digital computer counterpart is born through a glitch. Although Riri is painfully aware that Natalie she's mourning is dead, she, in the presence of her... No. Riri does not like this shit at all. Her mom enjoys it. That is a difference. None of this feels out of the realm of possibility. Chicago drive-bys take place much too often in real life, and ChatGPT is easy to use as text messaging. But it's a dark path for Marvel to casually Disneyify. I agree. There are cases of people texting ChatGPT as if they're friends, reports of teens and adults alike suffering delusions in becoming to ChatGPT for answers or guidance. And even with me, not me specifically, but the amount of times I'll see people on Twitter saying, oh, I use ChatGPT for therapy because it's cheaper than going to a therapist. Guys, if you're having mental issues, go to a fucking therapist. As someone who's been to therapy myself specifically before, part of going to therapy is physically getting the fuck up out your chair and going to a separate location to get that said therapy that we are discussing. That's part of the process because that shows willingness to go get it. Now, I understand there's certain hurdles with insurance and shit like that, but getting up to go to an office for therapy is part of it. And I know you're probably sitting there like, who gonna pay for it then? There's a lot of free therapy options all over the place. None of this feels out of the realm of possibility. Oh wait, no. OpenAI has admitted to, goddamn, how many times you gonna restart the game, nigga? Has to admit to the facilities of its own creation. Earlier this year, in an email to the Star, the company said it recognizes that ChatGPT can feel more responsive and personal than prior technologies, especially for vulnerable individuals. Yeah, that's right. I advise if you have anybody around you that is a mentally vulnerable individual. So, for example, if you have somebody who's depressive, somebody who's highly emotionally attached, gets attached way too easily. I'm forgetting the medical term for that, but it's highly emotionally something. It's not specifically highly emotionally unstable, but it's something. But basically, niggas that get attached too quick. If you catch them watching ChatGPT, I think you might want to, every once in a while, look through their logs just to see if anything funky is going on. Because this type of shit is scary. Generative AI certainly has a place in society, particularly when it's used to reduce menial labor, assist rather than replace. Yes. Or even support this. I don't know about pursuit of justice. I don't think AI should be in the courtroom with the high probability of it fucking hallucinating. In a groundbreaking case reported by local outlet ABC 15, in Arizona, family used an AI generated version of their deceased loved one to deliver his own victim impact statement in court. I don't like that shit. That's emotional manipulation. Let's like his mom, his daughter, his fucking wife, girlfriend, let somebody like that deliver it. To deliver his own victim impact statement in court. This person, a 37-year-old Army veteran and avid fisherman, was killed in a suspected road rage incident. I see shit like this I don't like. In November 2021, Rolling Stone reports this marks the first known instance of artificial intelligence being used to deliver a victim impact statement, and this should be the last. That shit should be illegal. And a U.S. court ultimately Riri intends to use her suit to serve justice. And if AI is a tool that makes the job easier and more efficient, it's hard to argue its usefulness. But it isn't a Swiss Army knife that can fix the human condition. True. And one thing I also want to add is let's keep in mind that this was also a thing with Jarvis. It's just back then we didn't take it as serious because technologies like that didn't exist and Siri fucking sucked, and that was the closest thing. Siri, show me pictures of spaghetti. Showing you pictures of the Serengeti. Later in Iornheart, Riri's mother meets Natalie's, blah, 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 blah. Riri was able to capture her spirit. I found it was hard to suspend disbelief that a grieving mother would I don't. That wasn't the suspending grief part. Because it's like, some people would accept to it, some people wouldn't. I could suspend disbelief on that one. But it's the casualization that this shit shows. Because there's a difference between you not knowing how other people feel about an idea and you seeing something that tells you how other people feel about that idea, you know? I found it hard to blah, blah, blah. Since this is, you didn't even need a but right there. Since this is the MCU, it's the kind of leap that's easy to overlook. That same night, Riri's mother asks if she could create an AI version of her husband. Riri replies that she can't. She doesn't know how, but admits that if she could, she would. Which is true. Because again, she didn't even mean to create Natalie. She just wanted a generic AI. The scientific mind behind the AI, Riri, understands its boundaries and potential risks, while her mother, lacking that expertise, is emotionally vulnerable to what feels real. Ding, ding, ding. That's another thing. Because like I said, let's say for some reason AI gets shut down. Now you have to get PTSD, go through the fact that it feels like you watched the baby die twice. Because I'm not going to lie. If you watch somebody go from the age of 1 to 15 and you essentially watch them die twice, that's like watching your own child die twice. Nobody wants to see some shit like that, bro. Is emotionally vulnerable to what feels real. But even one of the smallest characters in the current Marvel Cinematic Universe ends up falling for the allure of having her best friend back, despite knowing better. Also, I don't think she knows how to kill the fucking program, because the thing that comic book writers, TV writers, all that have been telling us since the fucking 90s is when you create an Ultron-like entity, it is hard as fuck to truly get rid of that shit. Because even in the show, the way that she got to the mom, because Riri Williams told her, hey, stay hidden, bitch ass nigga. I don't want you revealing yourself to anybody. And the shit went behind her back and hacked in the system to go on the Wi-Fi and stuff like that to go reveal herself to the mom using the Wi-Fi on the projector that was in the living room. So no part of this had Riri's consent in it. Just want to put that out there. Anyway, that being said, I'm gonna go play the Outer Worlds. And like my overall thoughts on the way, like just to summarize it and put it in a sentence, is I don't like the way they did that shit. Like the dude in the article said, it was real fucking hard to suspend disbelief in that moment. But give me a second, I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna either finish the Outer Worlds or play Power World.